Yo, what is up, guys? This is Troy D from the Troy D 24/7 Mall channel, your source for on point and no hype reviews. We are back again, everybody. We're back with another fragrance review right here, guys. And yes, I'm back in the US, guys. I was gone for about a couple weeks or almost a couple weeks, guys. You can check my Instagram for my entire Euro trip experience, guys. But I'm back from London and Paris, and I must say, in terms of the fragrance experience, wow, that was really spectacular. Spending some time checking out fragrances and fragrance locations and knowing people in the fragrance community in both those cities, guys. It was truly, truly amazing. And I might share some stories, guys, within the next few videos. Anyways, I am back to do my to-do list, and this perfume was actually delivered to me before I left. And I promised my decanter I would review this because this is a very much demanded perfume that people are asking me to do. Anyways, we'll talk about this latest Sospiro. Let's go. Now, before I continue, please do not forget to like and subscribe, guys, okay? Liking, subscribing, and watching the ads is a great big deal to this channel as we head towards 27K. We're less than 100 away, guys, so thank you so much for helping. Thank you so much. If you are new, please like and subscribe to this video and to this channel because we've got tons of stuff, tons of good stuff coming, guys. And it's really a never-ending process. If you love perfumes, this is the spot to be to get some no hype, honest, no hype breakdowns into these perfumes. Thank you so much for all your support. And the fragrance that we'll be talking about today is none other than Sospiro Il Padrino. That's right, Sospiro Il Padrino. And this one actually is not a recent release, came out latter part of the year. And of course, this is an ode to the Godfather. That's the concept, basically. And so, of course, just that in its own, I'm sure got a lot of people very, very interested. Now, first person I got to thank who sent me this is one of the greatest decanters in the game, Jared Miller. And these are his new decants, pressurized and really thick glass right here. This is a 5 ml decant. I gotta say thanks to Jared for sending this over. This is an amazing high quality decant. So if you are looking for a low cost or budget way of enjoying these very expensive $200-300 fragrances, Jared is the man. I will link him below, guys, so you can order a decant just in case you want to try this one. Anyways, today I will be breaking down Il Padrino start to finish in a no hype manner. I'll let you know how this smells like. And of course, I'll let you know if this is really worth the hype that everybody in TikTok or Instagram or the Fragcom space is hyping, this fragrance, if it's really worth the hype. And of course, is this worth buying in a very stacked division? I'm talking like UFC style, a stacked division of fall winter fragrances right now. Anyways, let's go spray this thing right now. Okay, guys, now let's talk about this fragrance right here, Sospiro Il Padrino. And coming into this fragrance, I was really thinking, because it was like the Godfather and everything, I was thinking that it was going to be some dark, woody, boozy, maybe even spicy, some patchouli dominated type of dark fragrance, guys. Because of course, that's what I'm thinking. This fragrance definitely is inspired by the Godfather. And of course, the Godfather's office, that iconic office. I've seen it once recreated in one of the museums here in LA, and it's really, really cool. It's dark. It's got some nice polished woody furniture as well as some hints of maroon here and there, right? So I guess that's what, the bottle and everything is based off of. Now, the intro, guys, is going to be, I will say this, the differentiator. It's going to be the wild card that makes this fragrance different than the rest. Because the rest, everything else, goes into a dark tangent almost immediately, goes into a gradient, introduces some sort of thick, dark, fruity note in the beginning. And this does not. Okay, at least for the first 30 minutes. So right here in the beginning, guys, you're going to get your rum, which is your boozy note. It's going to be there. It's going to intensify a little bit later, but it's going to be there, of course. It's also got, amaretto, which is a kind of like a soft blanket of bitter almond that really mixes in with the early sandalwood. That is there, guaranteed to give you guys that woodiness. Again, that feeling of being in the Il Padrino's office. It's woody as well with some nice sweet bitter almond and then some rum that intensifies later. But the wild card notes right here are going to be bergamot and black currant, which, believe it or not, they were able to mix really nicely into this fragrance. Almost like it's like a background note, but it provides balance. It provides kind of like a lively, fruity, and tangy, citrusy smell that livens up everything as you are smelling the beginnings of the boozy and the woody side, the bitter almond side, the amaretto side. As that's coming in, you're also experiencing some sort of mood enhancing start, which I really think is really great because all the other competitors in this like genre, if you will, are actually almost instantaneously dark. And this does not. It gives you a nice mood awakening black currant citrus mix with everything else. And I gotta say, that was the differentiator. And for me, I think this is one of the reasons why the mainstream loves it, because a lot of mainstream people don't immediately adjust to really dark, boozy fragrances. There's gotta be something fruity or, ambery that's kind of mixed here. I guess that's why Angel's Share is such a big hit, and maybe old fashioned slash single malt is more liked by people like me, like we're really deep into the game. But this one right here with Il Padrino, it gave us, it gave me a nice like fruity start, really mixed in well with those other like boozy and woody notes, to where it was a mood enhancing one. So I would say this is one of the big reasons why this is famous with the mainstream, because I would say it's balanced, it's maybe even like slightly unisex on the smell, but definitely likable. And that really caught me by surprise, the intro of this fragrance right here. Okay, so now let's talk about initial sillage and projection. This is definitely a nice lingering and draw in scent. It's not like super powerful, but definitely it's meant to be smelled by people kind of like within almost close quarters, as well as the wearer themselves. And you can always spray more if you want it to be more potent, but that's what I like. I like that for fall winter, something that is dark and woody and boozy to keep me cozy, and kind of also sets the tone with the classiness, right? It's a classy tangent. Again, nice start right here. And I gotta say, just for if you're wondering, how long does the black currant and the citrus last, I will tell you this, that it lasts up to 20 to 30 minutes while wearing this fragrance right here. 20 to 30 minutes. So it's just like a nice lively start, a balanced start that makes it different, but it's usually gone within about 30 minutes. Okay, so now let's talk about the mid of Sospiro Il Padrino, and this is where the Godfather takes over. This is where you will get, the continuation of the rum right here in the mid. You're gonna get a very potent, dark, woody patchouli right here. Sandalwood also continues here, guys, in the mid, and those are kind of like the dominating notes right here. And I gotta say, this is the part that if you are thinking Godfather and you're a fan of previous boozy perfumes, the mid is where you get it. 30 minutes into this fragrance right here. Okay, so I gotta say, I liked it because I still got the rum continuing on, still boozy, still woody, but of course it goes into a darker angle, patchouli. So for those, like I said, who are thinking Godfather, this is the Godfather part of the fragrance. Nothing truly groundbreaking, I would say, but this is the one that I expected. So again, for a lot of people, the wild card or the differentiator is the first part, first 30 minutes, and then the next 30 minutes, things definitely, turn into more Godfather masculine-ish on this fragrance right here. Now, also, I'm sure you guys are wondering how long was the coverage of the rum? How long does the booze really continue? Because it bleeds into the mid, and for me, it was a good 3 hours of the rum. Okay, 3 hours of the rum, and then you are gonna get pretty much a stronger patchouli come into the mid right here. Okay, and there's also some sweet amber, but to me, the sweet amber really starts at the latter part of the mid, going into the dry down, which is ambery as well. So again, dark woody patchouli, rum, and woods basically dominate the mid. I like it. This is expected, a very expected part right here. Maybe if you've never smelled anything like this, maybe you'll love it, right? But definitely this is the most congruent part of the fragrance. Okay, so now let's talk about the dry down right here of Sospiro Il Padrino. And like I said, the booziness ends at hour 3. Dry down usually starts at hour 6. Amber comes out at the end of the mid, and is continued on here in the dry down right here. Now it's like pretty much an ambery type of ending right here, an ambery vanilla type of ending right here. You've got vanilla, you've got labdanum, you've got CM benzoin, but it's mostly going to be leathery, ambery, and balsamic. Some sweet vanilla on the dry down right here to complete this dark ambery ending. Basically, the labdanum, which has leathery facets, continues on from the dark patchouli. The patchouli definitely sets the tone, and then it goes into labdanum towards the end right here. Now, what I thought though, let me just say something about this dry down. I thought that the dry down was going to be heavy, but actually it wasn't. Actually, the strength of the fragrance did not really get really strong or thick towards the dry down. That was a surprise for me. So that's something to expect right here. Definitely, I would say with this fragrance, strongest parts are going to be the first and the mid part of the fragrance. That was kind of shocking. I thought that the dry down was going to be thick and super comforting. No, it's basically nice amber vanilla slight leather into the ending of Il Padrino. Okay, so what do I think of this fragrance, Sospiro Il Padrino? Definitely this fragrance is going to be your standard like boozy, woody, dark type of fragrance, which if you have smelled many more in the past, I don't think it's going to be anything like crazily new. Okay, it wasn't as groundbreaking to me as what most people told me that it was going to be groundbreaking. Or maybe they're just not involved in dark, boozy fragrances. Or maybe the marketing was great and the name Il Padrino or Godfather set the expectation of what this could smell. Either way, if you're into boozy fragrances, this might have some redundancy with something else that you've had. And like I said, the big differentiator to me was going to be the intro with a nice black currant and some tartness, some tanginess right there with the bergamot. That I was surprised at how they were able to mix that and create a slightly lively intro that's kind of balanced, not immediately a dark tangent. That's what I will say. So either way, I really think that this is a fragrance that's super usable in the fall winter season, and it might be a type of fragrance that courts the mainstream crowd more than your niche heavy crowd that likes more complex fragrances, because you have an intro that's definitely mainstream likable and balanced, and then you have the expected Godfather takeover right at the mid of this fragrance right here. So it's a very nice fragrance, not too groundbreaking, but it's nice indeed. Now, usage-wise, guys, definitely this fragrance to me is a masculine. The first part is, you can say, kind of unisex because of that blend, but either way, that booziness does take over. That dark patchouli definitely helps with that, and that idea of the Godfather takes over really in the mid. And so, at the end of the day, to me, this is a masculine scent. And obviously, fall winter season, semi-formal to formal, nighttime for me. Maybe going out, and maybe you are the head of the family or you are the head of something and you're going out at night to a classy place. Definitely this will suffice for those types of things. Okay, can you wear it in a hot environment? I don't think so. Maybe AC environments, nighttime, that might work, but definitely this is a cold weather fall winter, cozy type perfume that really shows a lot of masculinity and power as you are wearing this perfume, as expected by the name and as expected with all the different notes that this has. So very usable for the nighttime, fall, winter. Okay, now let's talk about the performance right here. This is interesting because, like I said, I thought that the dry down notes were going to be heavy. They were not. And to me, the performance is about 10 to 11 hours, okay? Definitely, I could tell that a lot of the power of this fragrance, the juice is really, or the concentration is going to be at the first or the mid of this fragrance, which is cool. It creates a nice lingering draw-in scent. Okay, very powerful in the beginning. Definitely, I would say this is a 10 to 11 hour scent, maybe with remnants of amber past that. But for me, significant scent is 10 to 11 hours. Not bad for me. It's just not what I expected. I was thinking it's going to be a lot more heavier on the dry down. Maybe they needed to really add a leather note. But, it is a nice amber vanilla dark dry down indeed. Just not that long, not the 12-hour plus scent that I expected. Okay, so now let's talk about pricing, guys. So I'm looking right here, and it seems like average price for 100 ml of Il Padrino is between $140 to $170, depending where you shop. I'll add some affiliate links below, just in case you want to get a full bottle. Is it a full bottle worthy fragrance? I would say get a decant. Even if the price is like 150, which is definitely doable. I'm sure if you want to just add to the hype of the community and get one, you can easily do that. But like I said, there's so many competitors in this stack division of boozy, dark fragrances, and I'm sure the perfume companies are not done yet. They're going to keep dropping some more. So with that being said, guys, I would say try this first. Hit up Jared Miller before anyone. Get a 5 ml so you can really use it. This is the decant right here, like I said. And if you feel like you want to get a full bottle, go into one of our affiliate links and, get yourself a bottle. Maybe it would be a full bottle worthy fragrance for those that haven't had any boozy fragrances at all. This is a nice starter. Because believe me, there are other fragrances that are boozy that also have some beautiful combos in there, guys. So I would say this is a good starter pack boozy fragrance that if you're mainstream, it's a nice like lean in or leaning into that kind of deal. All right. So definitely, again, get a decant, try it first. Hit up Jared Miller if you want to try this. And that is it. That is my no hype review on one of the latest Sospiro perfumes, Il Padrino. Finally, I've done it, guys. Let me know in the comments below what you think of this fragrance right here. I'm sure at this point, a lot of y'all have owned this fragrance, maybe love it, whatever. Let me know on the comments what you think, good or bad or ugly. It's okay for me as long as you are respectful to others and myself. You're going to be good on putting the comments below, guys. All right. And I will see you guys on the next video. I will be trying Bulgari Aurum, another in-demand fragrance, guys. And I'll be reviewing the sketchbook fragrances that I got to smell when I was in England. And I love them. So I'm going to get that sample pack very soon. Can't wait to try that. So thanks so much for watching, guys. I will see you guys on the next video. Please do not forget to like and subscribe. God bless. Take care. Peace.